This is six-time IFBB Bikini Pro Champion Brina Martinez, and I take ZMA5 to make sure that I get the zinc, magnesium, and vitamin B6 needed to keep my immune system healthy and snack strong.
First and foremost, congratulations on the victory. What tactically did you see? What vulnerabilities did you see in Lomachenko tonight that you guys were able to exploit going into the fight?
From the beginning, I had told him, keep your composure. Hit, don't get hit. We got this thing that we call the pyramid, and basically, it's like it goes like into an angle where you could touch the fighter can touch you. When I seen Lomachenko having a hard time with that, I knew that we was gonna win this fight. Right away I found out. I got to give a lot of respect to Lomachenko for taking those big shots, early on into the fight, and he wanted to win. He just couldn't figure out my son. My son was a better man today. We did something that everybody thought we couldn't do. We outboxed him. We gave him a clinic. And I'm just so glad, man, that everything that I said, came into existence. I really didn't see him winning any rounds because to me, my son was hitting with the biggest shots. He was playing dirty in there. He was trying to headbutt him. He headbutted him a lot of times in his eyes. And I was telling him, listen, man, you don't let this guy keep on going because he's gonna end up cutting you. I told him that like around the 8th round, and it came to happen. He got desperate because he knew that he could only win by knockout.
Did you tell your son to, for lack of better words, fight dirty back? Because it seemed like Lomachenko was hitting him on the break and headbutting him and everything. Did you tell him to kind of give it back to him a little bit, or how did you go?
No, I just told him that he had to be tougher, try to keep away from him, stay composed, move around, because he's a great boxer, his whole 170 amateur fights was boxing. And we needed that today. We show the world that my son is not only a puncher, like I said before, we just made the best boxer in the world look like nothing, so we here to stay for a long time. This kid's only 23. We're making history, man. He's the first one to win 4 belts at the 135-pound division, and the first one to unify so young. He's been if it wasn't for these people that are helping us now, perfecting athletes, I don't think he would have been able to make the weight so comfortably. I think it's time to move up. I think it's time for him to go and try to get all the belts at the 140-pound division. There's no reason why we have to stay at 135 unless they give us something to want to fight for, So it all depends. But I'd rather him go to 140. He's been suffering at this weight for like 7 years already.
I got to ask you, do you think Lomachenko deserves a rematch? If he says, hey, I want to do this again, would you say, yeah, let's give that guy the opportunity to try again?
I mean, if the fight would have been close, maybe, I wore my lucky hat today. I was going to put the Oni Ramirez hat, my son's friend that had passed away. But I told my son, you know what, I'll put the shirt on and I want to go in there with my Nostradamus hat. I felt like I think I made the right decision of wearing this hat, because we've been winning a lot of fights like this. I was not nervous at all. I was anxious. I was very anxious the whole day today. I just wanted it to be over with. I just wanted to shut everybody up. And I knew it. My son has always been with me. I know what he could do. I know what he cannot do. So from now on, I just don't want nobody to doubt him no more. He has suffered so much. Like, he never gets what he deserves. Let's see what happens now. The only thing that I was surprised was he took those shots really good, and I got to give it up to Lomachenko. He's a strong fighter. That's why he's got 2 gold medals, 400 fights. The guy has been there with everybody's style, but he never fought a guy like my son. Out of those 400 and something fights that he had, my son, had the kryptonite for him, and tonight we showed it.
I think is going to be the mega fight for Teofimo Lopez in the future.
All of them. But these guys, they gotta do their thing. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing our thing. We don't go backwards. I told my son, we're not in the sport to go backwards. So these kids, they gotta do their thing, so they could come up to us and step up to the plate. I don't want none of them losing because those are mega fights.
Hey, but look, you're wearing the hat, Nostradamus. Pick one fight. What is the mega fight in the sport? Teofimo Lopez versus who in a couple of years or next year?
I don't know. Devin Haney. Let's say Devin Haney.
Thanks, Evan. Congratulations, senior. I think all of us that have interacted with you remember you telling us that your son would beat Lomachenko 2-3 years ago whenever we would see you at the fights. Curious, in terms of the game plan, what previous fights did you see vulnerabilities in Vasyl Lomachenko with what you were explaining with?
Well, I saw all the fights with Pedraza, Linares, and I saw something with Lomachenko every time he stepped in to the sides. He couldn't do that with my son because my son had him like double stepping back and he couldn't go to that side the whole night. We took that away from him. From the moment that I knew he couldn't do that, I knew that we had him, we just stopped him from doing everything that he's comfortable in there with, he's used to fighting fighters that have their hands up, so it's easier for him to get inside the pocket and do his work. So I was watching a lot of videos. Every time he would jump in, I told my son, you got to hurt him to the body. You got to hurt him to the body. And we stood chasing the body the whole night, And I think that hurt, he was hurt a lot of times. A lot of times he was ready to go. I think my son could have finished him. He decided not to, but I like it because, he gave him a whooping. And that's what we said that we was going to do. Man, I'm 100%, man, vindication. I mean, I started this with my son, with nobody around me. He was a little kid. He was only 4 years old when I started this mission. It took us a long time, 18 years, man, but we're here. I'm so happy. I don't know. I have no words to explain, man. I was walking around and I was like trying to pinch myself, make believe like, am I dreaming, man? Don't wake up. I was so excited. But yeah, man, I feel really happy for accomplishing this, but this is only the beginning. Everybody about Papachenko here, Papachenko there. I told everybody, all that stuff that they do, man, is just to hype everybody up, I already knew it. So, as long as I know it, I don't care who says what, But now, I just want Papachenko to go back to Ukraine and give his son a couple more dance lessons.
Noticed in the beginning of the rounds, he was just trying to warm up and try to adapt. And what I noticed afterwards, I picked up was that he was just trying to wait to the later rounds to come and press at me. So my father, who is my coach, and he does a tremendous amount of work on me, and Joey Gamache alongside, he was like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm staying composed because I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to take me to deep waters. So I had to keep that extra win for the later round. Just to watch over for the headbutts that Loma likes to tend to. When he goes inside, he'll lift his forehead. He'll lift his big ass forehead. But shit happens. This is part of the sport. You're going to get into war sometimes. So my father told me in the last round to box him, and I knew that wasn't a smart idea because I knew he was going to come. And the moment I stood my ground and I started pressing him back, he gave up. That was really what it is. He literally gave up, and I saw it in his eyes. But then the cut happened. Thankfully, it happened in the last round, 20 seconds or 30 seconds left in it. That way we were just able to finish off. I don't even know what I did, honestly, man. I just wanted to stay composed throughout the whole course of it. Just keep him from not throwing so many punches. I knew that was his thing, and we had to make sure that, we close that gap, or we find a way to at least keep throwing that stick, keep him away. And every time he was throwing his shots, I would allow him, because what I was trying to do and what I did successfully in a few times was counter him and hurt him a few times. And I think he noticed that he stepped back, he calmed down a little bit. He wanted to try again, but I was ready for it. 23 years old, man. But that's a true champion right there. Loma was a hell of a fighter. He knows what he's doing, but his time is over. I told you guys. I mean, I'm smart when I'm in there, I'm going to take bumps and bruises. I mean, that's part of it. Hey, shit happens. Like I said, this is the boxing world. And I know what comes with it. So I dig down deep in those last rounds for a reason.
If he wanted a rematch, would you entertain that at all?
For what? For what? I beat him, and I did everything that I had to beat him. If anything, it'll happen again, the same thing. There was no rematch clause for a reason. They had it. Now I can talk my shit. They had it pretty much where they didn't give me a rematch clause for a reason, and they gave me a contract on the side to pretty much say, like, if you lose, this is what you're gonna get for your next fights. Pretty much predicting that I'm gonna lose. So it's fine. Now, you know, they just gotta eat it up, suck it up, and now it's time for us to take over and move forward. That's it. I told y'all, man. Out with the old, in with the new. Who knows what the future holds? You know, I would love to definitely unify at 140 and take all the belts and become undisputed champion back to back. Hell yeah. No, not at all. Honestly, I let him press here and there. I wanted him to get tired. And I took some blows or whatever. I took some shots. They're not going to be effective as much. You know what I mean? And the thing was, because I'm going to get one of those shots in or two of those shots in, and it's going to hurt him. It's going to slowly get him. And that's what it was. The thing is, guys, I could take a shot. And the thing is that I don't care. If I get hit, I'm going to give you one back, if not more. So that's just my fighter in me, you know. This new generation, I mean, you have the likes of Shakur Stevenson. You have the likes of Jerome Boots Ennis. You have the likes of so many other guys out there, young fighters. I have a list that I could give off of, and that I grew up with in the amateurs. And the fact is that this is the new generation. We're bringing back what the old school was: fight the best, and you push on it. I'm not here to pick and choose who I want to fight because I want to defend my title and keep that. Oh no, nah. And now, who knows where my figures are gonna go up, if they're gonna go up after this. I mean, that's the thing. Everyone wants to be like Mayweather. In order to be like Mayweather, you got to be like Pretty Boy first. You got to fight those guys that they don't think that you'll win. You got to fight the likes of those guys that are undefeated and is a good fight in order to make those type of millions that people want to make. Why are you buying so many chains and all this at an early age? You're not making nothing. You're not making not a dollar. So, I mean, I'm just thankful that I'm able to be the first one to do that and push for the young ones out there. I expected more. A lot of people were talking highly about him, and I expected more, but basic. It was pretty basic, honestly, overall. And I think it was just maybe it was a 14-month layoff that did it. I don't know. I mean, but I had 10 months layoff, so why does it matter, you know? But I fought the guy that everybody says is the pound for pound, and everyone is very highly talked about. You know, he's gonna be inducted to the Hall of Fame for doing one thing: 3-time fastest, 3-time weight division champion, along with Clarissa Shields. But that's it, you know. Everybody's always gonna remember this fight with me. You know what I mean? About Lomachenko, man. We talk the talk and we walk the walk. That's what I do, man. My father just doesn't talk shit just to talk shit. You know what I mean? He believes in my abilities. I'm smart when I'm in there, you know, and I peeped a lot of things. But, you know, facing someone like that and doing what I did, you guys haven't seen anything yet. I don't mind being the 2-time email world champion. You know what I mean? That'll be fine, you know. I know a lot of people are already saying that this is not for undisputed because of that. Whatever with Mauricio Suleiman and whatever he did. But I just got a belt that said franchise world champion. So from the WBC. And you got a guy like Devin Haney fighting Gamboa, a washed out Gamboa, just for a record that he wants to keep it safe and pretty. I can fight those guys. I don't mind it.
Do you think Haney would fight you next, assuming he beats Gamboa?
I don't care. I don't think any of these guys will step up to the plate. And if they do, they better be ready. Because I don't fear no man. I told you guys this. I don't care. I'm in there to fight. And if you're not there to fight with me, you're going to lose. He tried to take me to the deep waters. And what I did, I reversed it on him by letting him tee off, whatever, and let him get comfortable, but let him get tired. I started hearing him huff and puff. Little by little, I started realizing he was gassing out. And every time we sat down in the corner, he would take big, deep breaths. And I noticed that. I always look at my opponent and seeing what they do once they sit down for the next round. And I noticed that with him. So I stood composed. That was my whole thing. In order to do what you got to do, I have that second win. I have all of that already lined up. I have that third win if I need to. So I was 2 steps ahead of Lomachenko. That's what it came to. And that's what made me win the fight tonight. I ain't here to I'm not here to see another fighter build up his career. If he wants to take that step and fight, I'm more than happy to just take him out that route of what everybody's talking about, saying the next Floyd Mayweather and stuff like that. Yeah, Get out of here with that bullshit. And for everyone else out there, man, everybody's is cherry picking. Javante Davis, why are you fighting Leo Santa Cruz? For what? That's a 130 pounder or a 126 pounder. That's sad, man. And you guys hype these guys up for so many things, but it's okay. It's okay. Just put them in front of me and I'll beat them. Why is that though? Can I ask you guys that? Why is it? I do all that I can. No one gives me my fair share. When is it going to be enough for y'all? Honestly. I do a lot. I do a lot. It's like it ain't even enough. And you know why? And that's why nothing in life is promised. I don't take this and I let it get to my head. I'm on to the next. This isn't enough for me. Because you know why? I thank you all for that. And no. You know, but you guys made me stronger. USA Boxing has made me stronger from winning the U.S. Olympic trials, Rio Olympics, when they did so much corruption shit on us. They made me stronger. Coming into the pros, you guys have made me stronger. So I thank you for it. But understand this, I'm tired of the shit. Give me my damn respect. That's it. All right? And I thank you guys. I'm going to end it with that. I appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in. But come on, man. Give me a break, yo.